Hello again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to scrap these two very funny Snapchat photos of me and my fiance. I'm using my November 2020 stash kit, which is basically every fall collection that I had. So I'm just kind of flipping through. These are the things that I had pulled out that I want to use on this layout. Because if I have to go through like the whole kit, it's too much. So, and I pulled out some more mixed media. Been in a mixed media kick lately. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that border strip off, and then I am going to use another border strip and just go ahead and adhere it to the bottom of the page. I was feeling border strippy right here. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to anchor the page just a little bit at the bottom. I don't do that enough. I don't weight the bottom of the page hardly at all, so we're going for it. I am a bit off screen. I will fix that momentarily. I'm going to trim my photos down to 4x4s. Because that's pretty much as small as that one can get, but this one here of my fiance being, what's that dude's name? He hates Carole Baskin. It's Joe, the Tiger King, haha. I'm also watching some YouTube there, as you can see, giving some people some love and some likes. So I'm going to go ahead and mat this first one fully on the orange cardstock. And then I'm just going to trim it out with my scissors because I'm not really caring right now if it's perfectly straight or not. Then I'm like, oh, well, that's not enough. So I'm going to futz with it until I really honestly figure out how I want it to go. And this is pretty much what I settle on. I'm okay with the partial backings. And we're going to just go ahead and do several different partial backings. I'm going to pull out basically the scraps that I had from previous layouts with this kit. You guys do know that I like to do that. I like to do that a lot. I like to, each new layout, I try to pull the scraps from the previous layout so that I can get them used up. And right here, we are just going to go ahead and do it again, another partial, and just snip that off. Now that is going to be recycled. So right here, digging the way that looks, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere those together, and then I'm going to tear this paper, and we're going to adhere it to the top and bottom so it just looks like it runs all the way through. You guys know the trick. I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm just going to eyeball line it up. And then I'm going to draw some circles. So here's all the things that I just quickly grabbed that I had stuff sitting in to create circles. And these, basically, so what I'm going to do, that's my fabulous new pin cup. Got my new pins in there. I'm in love with this pin I'm using here. I believe they're called G2 or G5. I don't know. They're Pilot pins, and I love them. I also grabbed my brown Staedtlers. And I'm just going to roughly draw some circles around layouts. I've been doing some circles lately, and my head is going to come, woo, sorry about that weird colic part there that you've seen. I swear I do not have a bald spot. I just have my hair messily pulled back, and, it's early morning, so I got my little part going on. So I do make several different, and I always do one gold, and then I switch the browns up. I'm not real sure if they're that different of colors, but made me feel good to use a couple extra, just a little bit more. And I do use a gold circle once, so I'm making like 2 messy circles in a row. Not real sure what my deal's been lately, but yeah, I've been doing a lot of circles. And I actually was going to hand stitch on this one as well, but I had just completed my Masculine Monday series that you would have seen earlier this week on the Monday, the 16th, and I had stitched a heart on that, so I was not feeling the stitching, and I'm doing another layout that I'm doing stitching on, so yeah, we're just gonna draw them, and I make them real messy. If you notice, I'm like going back and forth, and then so they're not like completely perfect, but I love the way that this looks. And the gold shows up really well for it being like, not like a crafty metallic pen. So I like that. I like that a lot. And then I look and I'm like, all right, we got one more. And actually, to be honest, this is a shot glass that I used to hold my liquid glue in so that it would be upside down. And yeah, so like the bottom of it, and half the time it would sit there when I wouldn't put the cap back on before I used the fine liner bottles, and I would use the Tombow Mono, the green and white glue bottle, and that sucker like never dried up. So when I was crafting, I could just leave it open and sitting there, but it did drip into the bottom. So the bottom of that thing is like gooey. It's dried glue, but I now hold toothpicks in it for when I need a toothpick to do something. You never know when you're going to need a toothpick to do something on a crafty project. I actually use them quite a lot. I am going to go ahead and take some of the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Butter and sprinkle that around the page as well. And then I'm like trying to figure out, I was originally going to put it to the right of the page, but I moved that because I didn't want to cover up those circles. Now I'm going to chop some big splatters here. And I believe that's like tangerine or something like that. It's an orangey yellow color. Maybe it's not tangerine, but I don't know. And I am going to come in with my orange mermaid brush. I believe those are mermaid brushes. I'm not 100% sure. I picked them up off of Peachy Cheat. They are Heidi Swapp. Or not Heidi Swapp. Oh, you guys know what I'm thinking about. Vicki Boutin. It's the orange one, but it kind of looks like, red blood. So I do dab that up in just a bit. Now I do grab this like very, very cheap gold glitter glue that it's Studio G. I picked that up from Walmart, and I'm trying to use this stuff up. So instead of like making dots and such, I just kind of put it on and then I smear it around with my finger. And actually, as I was doing it, I was like, oh, you've just ruined this beautiful circle thing you did here, Beck. But no, in the end, it actually looks pretty good. It looks really good because when the light hits it, it's shimmer, it's got glitter on it. So I actually do end up really liking it. But let me tell you what, at this point, I was like, I'm not going to stop. And my goal is to get these tubes used up as much as possible because I've had them forever and I have stickles and all kinds of other things, and these are not the greatest quality. They don't stay puffy. They end up drying flat, and the glue is very liquidy, and it's bleh. They're just very cheap. So see, it's kind of cool. It's like little just media splotches all over, and that's completely dry. And because I, made it a real thin layer, it did not take any time at all to dry. But once I did soak up some of those bigger splotches that I did with that watercolor pen, they do turn out orange. So I was actually really happy about that. I do go ahead and get my little photo cluster popped on down. And now I'm going to go ahead and start to embellish. And I do a lot of fall and such. I'm going to go ahead and take my fall leaf ribbon and just do 2 tags. Now this one right here, yeah, this ends up not being a tag because I just couldn't get it tight enough and I didn't like it. So this one will stay a tag, and I'm able to pull that pretty tight into where I feel like it's secured. Plus it's like, the brown. So I do cut those pretty, and then here, yeah, see here. Yeah, I just end up, I'm trying. I'm going to futz with it for, quite a bit. I'm going to try to trim it off, and I just ended up giving up. And you're going to see right here, I'm going to throw that to the side. I am going to go ahead and adhere this one down. I do like this little frame. Now, yes, I know I have circles all over the layout, but I am not opposed to mixing shapes. I will put stars and hearts in the same layout. I will put circles and squares. I like all shapes. I do use some liquid adhesive to glue that down because it is a very thin square. And here you go. I'm going to just go ahead and rip that right out. And I'm just looking for where I could put it. And I just go ahead and trim that piece off. And I'm going to tuck it right up at the top. And I'm going to create a cluster right up there. This is a pumpkin on a scale. I have no idea how I would ever use a scale. So we're just going to cover him up with this cute little tag here. I was just using up a whole bunch of little fall stuff. I mean, this was actually a Halloween layout that we took these pictures on Halloween. We were just chilling. Funny story about Halloween, my fiance totally forgot it was Halloween. And we were not planning on, giving candy out and stuff due to, COVID. And unfortunately, I'm sorry for all the little kids. But my fiance went and turned the back porch light on because my son was on his way home from work. So he went and turned the light on for my son. I'm washing dishes, look out the window, and I see flashing lights. And there was a truckload of kids jumping up. And I said, "Do you have the porch light on?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, we're getting trick-or-treaters." And he was like, "There goes all my candy." So he has a bowl of candy that he snacks on all the time, so he had to give it to the kids. And I was like, "You better turn that light off." So we did do trick-or-treating this year, and they got, like, extremely good candy because it was, like, full-size candy bars and such, because that was all we had, and there was no way that you could I couldn't do that to the kids. I couldn't be like, "Sorry, we didn't really mean to have our porch light on," and who comes to the back door anyway? But okay. But I guess it could be because I live on a corner lot, so the back door is actually kind of on the facing the street too, so it's cool. Anyway, as I was rambling on about nothing, as you see, I created several other clusters, and we've got 5 clusters on this layout because I don't always go with the 3, but this is pretty much going to be it for the layout. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and click that subscribe button below. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and let me know, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.